Not going to lie, I kind of forgot that existed.
The music?
No, the podcast. It's been a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm stealing this joke, but I thought it was kind of funny. We're currently like Oda right now, where it's like 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 2 week break.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For this current moment in time, that's true.
That's true.
There have been a lot of things going on.
That is very true.
At the same time, as a lot of things going on, there's also been no like good movies out worth really talking about, which is, half of the...
True. And I mean, it also took you a little bit to read Dressrosa, which we're going to talk about, obviously.
Yeah, so this segment is going to be the anime manga portion today on Dapper Devils. Before we get too far, we're going to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsors, which have recently changed a little bit.
A little bit.
So now I would like to say thank you to Pixel Popcorn Media Group and Unscripted Studios, and that is all.
Hooray.
Yay. Thank you for your continued support.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's I don't know if it took me a long time to read Dressrosa. I think it took me so long to read Fishman Island.
Yes.
And then I really
Let's say once you finished Fishman Island,
through.
you went gangbusters.
Yeah, I think I was reading at least a volume or two a day for a minute.
Yeah.
And then, things slow down a little bit when I have my kids. And so my consumption is a little bit slower sometimes. But
Well, it's funny too, because I kind of had a similar thing when watching it. Like for me, that was Alabasta, where I would watch a couple episodes. I think it took me like a month or month and a half to really get through it, and then once I got past that, I flew through it.
yeah, I think, and that's any show probably that has such a large volume of episodes. Let's say there's going to be some lulls.
For sure,
there will be some lulls. It doesn't mean that what's happening at the time is
bad.
Yeah, it just means that maybe it's not as full of action like the stuff that we like more is. And so, but yeah, so I got done with Fishman Island, moved into Dressrosa. Well, actually, we didn't even talk about Punk Hazard because that comes before, right?
True. It's been so long, I don't remember what we've talked about.
Fishman Island was really the last thing.
Okay.
I don't. Well,
we
remember.
talked a little bit about Punk Hazard.
Did we?
Yeah, because I remember we talked about, I was asking you if in the manga it showed the whole thing with the slime and the fruit.
Oh, yeah, okay. So then we are Dressrosa.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I forgot.
But
But
been
yeah,
a little bit.
But yeah, so then you Punk Hazard ends kind of with a couple of the henchmen from Big Mom's crew being there.
It's what,
and
Peekums and
the
egg dude?
Humpty Dumpty guy.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't fucking remember.
I can't remember. He hasn't been reintroduced again because even where I'm at in Dressrosa, they aren't going to Big Mom yet. It's on the docket of things that are happening, but that happens in Zoe,
right?
Which is the arc after, which I'm also finished with.
Correct. Zoe's pretty short. It's 1 or 2 volumes?
2.5 volumes, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
It's one of those, a lot happens, but also not a lot happens.
Yeah,
it's a lot of setup.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. But Dressrosa does a lot of things. And I know you say that's not your favorite arc to watch.
Well, it's funny because when I was talking to Derek the other day about it, I even brought up, I was like, it's slower for sure, but like what we've talked about with that, I'm like, you know what? It's actually pretty solid. Yeah, it's more of a build up for the most part, but everything that does happen, it's pretty solid.
Oh yeah,
I mean, obviously, the latter half of it is fucking awesome.
Yes,
but overall, I would. Because I was probably sitting at maybe a 6.5 out of 10 for Dressrosa. I'd probably put it an 8. A lot happens, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, so there are characters I think that you don't like Rebecca, right?
No, I think she's fucking stupid.
And I actually...
We talking about the character or my sister?
The character.
But my answer stays the same.
Yeah.
You've met her.
I have.
Anyways.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the guy with the cats in the bag, dude.
Dude, that's a story for a different time. That'll be a good bullshit episode. No, but I think her character's kind of dumb, and I think again this could have just been because in the anime, I'm sure it's stretched out further. I think her backstory is drawn out.
It wasn't so long. The thing is, like, her backstory in that arc, you're getting revealed a piece of it with unknowingly at first.
Sure.
Because of the soldier that you later find out is her dad. And is Kiros is her dad. And he was, like,
a badass.
The ultimate gladiator. You know, he was undefeated in 2,000 battles or whatever it was.
They had a whole statue to him.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool because when they get to Dressrosa, that's there, and it's in a prominent part of the town, but nobody knows what the hell it is about.
Which I think, like, going back and rereading, I'm like, that's kind of cool. That it's like, oh, it's like the fabled soldier, but everyone's like, is it just a myth? Like, who the fuck is this guy?
And so, like, I was very intrigued immediately.
Sure.
Because I knew something else was at work when it considered, like, what was going on.
For sure.
You know, you have all these toys, and they're saying, like, very human things.
Yeah.
But they are, like, also not in control of...
Yeah.
And so... So it was very, like, mysterious to me. And at that point, you'd only seen, I think, a picture of Doflamingo in the previous arc on, like, a transponder snail.
He's appeared briefly.
Yeah, he was at Paramount War.
He was also...
Right.
I don't remember. It's very early on in the series. He appears with Kuma at one point. There's a whole meme about the way he walks. Because it's so fucking ridiculous. He's got, like, the wide stance, the hands in the pockets, and he's like...
That probably would have been when Kuma banished everybody to the different areas right before the time
think it's
skip.
before that. It might have also just been like an anime only thing.
That's possible. But yeah, so I was waiting for this villain.
Yeah. He's a great villain.
Just like I'm waiting for Big Mom to come, you know, and she's coming soon.
Gross.
But yeah, so like, well, Sanji's the one that technically should be coming soonest. Charlotte Pudding. He's about to go. So I shouldn't.
Pudding can get it.
I shouldn't know.
You shouldn't
about that character, but I know that she's the three-eyed one, right? Like, doesn't she have an extra eye on her forehead?
Why do you think that?
Because I saw her in my video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's how I stopped playing that game.
Good.
Because it was spoiling things for me. Like
I told you that ages ago, and you're like, well, you know, it's all right.
It's a fun game.
Sure.
But yeah, so Doflamingo, kind of, you start seeing him and his network of other villains.
Yeah,
and
the Don Quixote family.
And I mean, a lot of his henchmen are kind of stupid or silly.
You know what I mean? You don't like Treble?
Treble, the snot man. Yeah, snot man he was not my favorite.
That's
and neither was Sugar.
No, Sugar's kind of her power's cool.
Yeah, her power's cool.
I think she's kind of stupid.
Is it the toy fruit?
Whatever. Yeah, she's the one that turns them into the toys.
But yeah, she turns them into toys, and then they become, like, basically indentured servants. But the reason that now I forgot his goddamn name, Kiros, was cool is because she forgot to basically
erase his memory
and make him a servant. So he's just, like, still a warrior, but in the form of a nutcracker toy with one leg.
Well, did she forget to erase his memory because she thought she just forgot, or was it like, oh, like he's dead, whatever?
No, she just didn't understand that was part of
her power, because he was the first one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so she didn't realize that had to be part of it to give them, like, orders,
right,
that they wouldn't deviate from.
Right.
So he was just a blank canvas. Like,
he was the test subject.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck shit up, and he did.
He did.
Awesome. He's an awesome character. I liked Rebecca.
Pink hair Nami.
Is that who that is?
Basically.
I haven't seen her drawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm assuming that her stuff is golden, like her metal
bra.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like Red Sonja.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, she kind of has that vibe of, like, barbarian warrior princess or gladiator.
Yeah. But I liked her character because she took all of the lessons. She loses her mother.
Yeah.
Like, her mother gets fucking murdered.
Yeah.
And then,
like a Disney movie.
Yeah, and then the father gets turned into a toy, but she doesn't know that, because soon as somebody gets turned into a toy,
all the memories
forgotten.
of them. Yeah.
Like, everybody that ever knew them forgets them.
Right.
And so he stays by her side and is like, I will always keep you safe.
Yeah,
and then
he was a father.
right, and he teaches her how to fight because it's like you're going to have to know how to defend yourself.
Exactly. Well, because he knows the looming terror that's around them.
Right, because he was like kind of listening at the window when Doflamingo was telling King Riku,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to fucking take
Murder
your kingdom.
Everyone. Yeah.
And if you don't do what I say, you know, I'm going to make you look like an ass. And he does.
Yeah.
Because of his power, the string fruit.
Doesn't he make Riku kill some of his own like trusted soldiers?
Well, yeah, he kind of puppeteers him.
Yeah,
into,
basically attacking them and
so this is driving me crazy today. I'm too high for that shit.
the hat.
No, but I like fucking hats.
No, I know. I'm just saying you're getting all close and bumping it.
But yeah, so Doflamingo, like his powers are kind of
Awesome.
they're like overpowered.
Absolutely.
You know, because of all of the different things that he can do with them. It's like,
Dude, he can make an exact copy of himself with colored string.
right.
Like,
Yeah, and use them, you know, to his advantage.
yeah, it's still fucking awesome, but still.
But yeah, so you kind of see all this stuff is going on. And so the reason that I like Rebecca is because she took all of the lessons from her father.
And actually implemented them.
Well, she was forced into the arena,
Yep.
made a slave, like all the other gladiators that are there, like waiting to die. They have to win 1,000 fights to get released. And
Yeah, like let's be real.
Nobody ever lasts that long.
No.
And so they kind of established that a little bit. And then, you know, of course she's going to meet Luffy.
Well, yeah.
Like the thing
and
with
of course she's going to give him food.
Yeah. And Luffy literally, if there is royalty involved, Luffy's going to be directly in contact with that person a lot.
Yeah.
Like it happens every time.
Shirahoshi, Vivi.
Now Rebecca,
Yep.
who is a princess, you find out. Momonosuke, yeah. I fuck these names up every time. I could watch the anime. I'm still going to fuck them up.
Oh, dude, when I watch the anime, I think it takes me like 30 episodes before I'm like, oh, okay, that's this character.
Yeah, like, and it rolls off the tongue.
Right.
But he's always like directly in line with the royal people in the story, and it's like it kind of reinforces the will of the king in him.
Well, yeah,
because he's the only one. Like anybody else that would talk to somebody in that position, like Luffy talks to anybody, would just get murdered.
Well, yeah. Dude, he fucking punches them. He's just like, shut up. Bam.
And
You're acting like a bitch. Ba-ba.
So I love that. And it happens again in this arc when Rebecca buys him 3 lunches.
Yeah, and he eats all of them.
Yeah, and then at that point, it's like, we're allies forever.
Yeah, he's like girl, what's your problem?
Yeah, you're my people.
Oh, shit. Your whole country got overtaken by a tyrannical person? I'm going to go kick his ass. Like,
And so that bond is formed. And then I think this is another reason that I like Doflamingo so much, is because he's so like calculated and layered in the way.
Oh, he thought things out.
Like, dude, it's like he's pulling all the strings.
Before we get too far, one of the best things, in my opinion, about Dressrosa are all the disguises that they wear. Because they're so fucking dumb. Yeah.
There's a mustache.
The mustache, the beard, the goatee. Fucking Luffy's got sunglasses and the beard and a fucking pineapple shirt.
Yes.
And he goes by Lucy.
I love it. I love because he had to pick a name when he was like he finds his, and that's what I was about to say about Doflamingo and his layered plans, because he knows exactly how to get Luffy where he wants him.
Well, sure.
And exactly when he wants him there.
Dude, some of the things though, it's like it's such a great parallel I guess counter to it, because again, Doflamingo, super prepared, methodical, plans everything. Mm-hmm. And then there's Luffy.
Yeah,
who does the exact opposite.
Yeah, he's anti-plan.
Yeah,
it's like the antithesis of having a plan.
Yeah, or like when they introduce Fujitora, who's also a badass.
Yes,
but it's the casino basically.
Yeah,
and they try lying like, oh, it's black, and Luffy's just like, no, it's white. Like, yeah, just being a homie, just eating noodles.
Yeah, he's over there munching, and he realizes that this blind person is getting cheated by the casino, and he's like, nope, that's not going to happen in front of me.
Yeah. And then Fujitora whips out his devil fruit and just crushes everyone.
Yeah, he makes a giant hole in the ground of the casino, and you're like, oh shit, who is this guy?
This guy's a pimp.
You know, and when you meet him, I think it was Zorro that asks his name or whatever.
Well, he kind of like looks.
You don't know.
He kind of looks at him. He's like, I don't trust this guy. He's like, because if memory serves, he's kind of like, I don't know if he's blind or not, but he's like, this guy is not all that he's revealing.
Right. And then Fuji reinforces that by saying, you'd rather not know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, and then
because you find out later he's a Navy admiral, one of the new Navy admirals.
I think it's at Saba Odi where Luffy basically vows he's like, I'm never going to run from an admiral again, and he doesn't. I mean, because by the end of Dressrosa, granted they don't really fight, but he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, if you want to fight, let's fight.
Yeah, that's a kind of an interesting, because that whole, see, this is such a long arc. That's why I think it would take longer to do than one show.
We can do part 2.
Yeah, I mean, keeping it in line maybe is going to be tough for me because chronologically a lot happens. I don't exactly remember, but so that the agenda points are if you've forgotten that Luffy has teamed up with Law, he has.
Yep, the best pirate alliance ever.
And you know, Law is just like he's basically.
I feel so bad for Law.
Well, because he's definitely a good leader
for sure,
and he's just a passenger, though.
Yeah. Oh, he has no control on this ride.
You know, he anytime he tries to kind of implement some type of logic or reason into the situation, Luffy does Luffy things.
Well, so I would say a good analogy. So, like the other day when we were getting breakfast, I was trying to like weasel my way into the booth part of the seat, and he just fucking dead-legged me, just right in public, just bah. That's essentially the same thing. It's like Law's like, ooh, I'm gonna go for the driver's seat, and Luffy just punches him and goes, no, you're not. Like, this is my spot.
Yeah.
That's basically the equivalent of that. Yeah. Like, you can try. It's not going to work well for you, but you go ahead.
Like,
if it makes it feel better.
I see you.
Yeah. It's okay.
But, yeah. Dude,
well, and then I'm trying to remember exactly when it happens because, like, obviously the Tontada get introduced pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, so they get introduced.
Because they steal Shusui, right? Zoro's sword.
Yeah, so that's how he ends up on that part of the island.
Doesn't he keep one of them like in his shirt? And they're like, turn left, and he goes right, and they're like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he has Leo, I think is who he has.
Okay.
When he's
I don't remember their names.
Well, Leo's the little one
the main one?
Yeah. Not the leader guy.
Well, no, but like the main one that like works with them.
Yeah, the guy, Leo. He's the one that's like helping to get the key to Law's shackles later on.
Okay.
With Princess
yes.
Mansheri.
Okay. Oh, see, look at you.
Yeah. I just have to go into the Mind's Palace and find it. It's there.
Like what is it, like the Dr. Sleep Rolodex and like file cabinets of everything.
Yeah. It's true.
No, but like it's funny because now you're kind of at that point where, you know, God Usopp is now a thing where it's like, oh, everything he predicts comes true in some capacity.
Yeah, so because Robin and Usopp get
her outfit
captured by the Tontada.
Dressrosa.
Oh, dude.
Gorgeous.
and the thing that they give to Nami.
Well, yeah.
Like, what is that black, lacy looking whatever the fuck? It's like, thank you.
Yeah, right.
For that. Thank you.
No, like I prefer Nami to Robin. But I will always concede when it comes to Robin and her Dressrosa outfit. Something about it. The hat, the glasses, the dress. I'm just like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, thank you, Oda. So, same thing.
She's, I don't know. They're all hot.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you think about, like, quantitatively or try to put it on a scale of whatever...
The answer is just yes, I would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But, yeah.
They get captured...
Yep.
And sewn to the ground.
Yep. It's kind of like Gilligan's Island.
It is. Like, Gulliver's Travels.
That's the one. Yeah, that was the TV show, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, you just made me picture that Waldo-looking dude in the dinky hat.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah, so, it's a lot like Gulliver's Travels because that happens to Gulliver in his adventures.
When he washes up on shore.
Ground. Yeah. Which I'm surprised nobody ever asked him if that's where he got inspiration for that part.
I would think it would have to be, right?
You would think. I mean, he draws from everything, which is what I love. It's so worldly.
Right. It's not just like, oh, Because like I know certain artists, like you could ask, like, oh, did you reference this? And even if they did, they might be like, no. Oda's like, hell yeah, I did. Like, good eye.
Yeah, and he's like, I loved that as a kid, or he'll explain to you why he took it. And
well, there was one of the SBS where somebody was like, oh, is Kinemon based on this character from this samurai movie? And he's like, absolutely he is. I thought that movie was awesome, and I wanted to make a character based on him.
Yep.
Like, I think that's super cool.
I do too. And I mean, it probably is why his story writing is so rich, is because he's using things that exist and have like been cool.
Well, yeah, like
putting his spin on it.
Kizaru, oh my God, Akainu and Aokiji. Yeah, thank you. Like they're just famous actors, and they're not even like, oh, they're references. They are just those people. Yeah, and it's awesome.
Yeah, he just said I used them. Yes. Yeah, he's like,
because I thought they were badass.
They're cool old dudes. So I used them,
and he's not wrong. But yeah, so they get tied down.
Yeah, so they get tied down, and then that's how you meet the Tontadas, and that is where the birth of God Usopp actually comes into play. Because,
what do they call him again? Is it Usoichi, or is that in Wano?
I think
they gave him like a name.
Yeah, Usopp. I can't remember their talk. That's one of the very few times where a dialect of a certain
character or
set of characters that you meet was fairly annoying.
You kind of said the same thing about the mink as well, where like you didn't love the Gara.
Yeah,
I'd be like, hey, you Gara.
Yeah, some of it is just it's a little clunky to read.
Sure.
And I think if I was watching it, I wouldn't give a shit. Yeah, it's just happening, and it's like I don't have to like change my brain pattern.
Because it's such like especially like I mean, obviously I don't know what it means in Japanese. I don't know if you know if it's a real word, but like just kind of being like reading like, how's it going, Gara? You're like, wait, what?
Right.
It breaks up your flow.
Yeah. But he does tell them that he's like this great warrior.
Yeah, he's a liar.
And he's going to save them.
Like a liar.
Yeah. And so they do. They start to like herald him as their hero.
Right.
And it's like the best day ever.
It does come true.
So, yeah. The thing with this arc, I think that's the only reason why I like the character Sugar, is because she gives Usopp an opportunity to actually do something useful.
Yeah. Well,
twice.
Yeah, because like
not that he skip intended to do it.
Well, yeah. Let's say pre-time skip, he's not useless, but he's not the most useful.
Right.
Post-time skip, I feel like this is the first chance he's really gotten to be like, hey, let me show off some of my shit.
Yeah, so he's definitely been using the seeds that he got from that island he was on with
Heracles.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy is so fucking stupid. I love him.
Yeah, he's and so he's been doing that, but this, you made a mention of it, where this is like a time where you see him do something and people now theorize that he has observation hockey.
Right. Well, I think this was the first moment that like people were like, oh, does he? Or like, because I don't remember, like I said, if it's like officially confirmed or not, but they were like, I mean, he just saw a future in which if he misses, this is what now happens.
Right.
And everything is fucked.
Yeah.
But
so it may be true. They don't show his dad enough, Yasopp enough to know whether or not he has it, but they present him like, especially in the live action. I thought it was so cool.
Dude, Yasopp's a G.
Like when he shot the dude off the pillar.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's
ricochets the bullet. Yeah, no, dude, Yasopp is
amazing.
Amazing.
And so I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so knowing whether or not that's true, he did have two very cool moments in the arc where he takes down, I mean, Sugar is the least imposing of
any of the Don Quixote family.
Physical threats.
Yeah.
At any, like, of any character, really, that we've really...
For sure.
She's just, she's supposed to be old, but she looks like a 12-year-old girl. They tell you how old she is in one of the SBSs. I think she's actually 25.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's always a thing, too, that I'm always, like, iffy with anime is when it's like, oh, like, there's this character. It's a goddess who's 3,000 years old. She looks like she's 12. I'm like...
Yeah. It's weird. And, but yeah, he answers that question because somewhere in there somebody asks how old are all the Don Quixote people.
Sure.
And he answers it.
Yeah.
So she's like 12 looking, but 25-ish.
I mean,
when she first met him 13 years ago, she was 12.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that whole thing. So,
oh, dude.
Or 10 years ago. Or
whatever.
So she's
like,
22.
Speaking of like in the past, though, Law's backstory.
Dude, yeah, his backstory's crazy.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Corazone's a badass.
Yeah, see, that's why this arc is way too hard to break down into.
There's a lot.
But yeah, that Corazon part is dope.
Dude, like his power's fucking awesome too. The silence fruit, like
Yeah.
just running,
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
when he's getting the up fruit, when he just like runs through that whole tavern, silences it, throwing grenades everywhere. You're like, this motherfucker don't miss.
Yeah, no, that
Like-
whole the duplicity of the fact that he's Don Quixote, he's Dofi's brother,
Right.
and
One is good, one's bad. Like,
well, so that part that they show you that at no point ever was Doflamingo good.
no, he was like, he's literally the definition of born evil.
Yeah, like he shoots his dad in the back of the head at age 8.
Yeah. Because his dad decided, I want to have a normal life.
Yeah, because so you learn that he's actually of celestial dragon lineage.
Yep.
And so that's like one of his problems is that he thinks everybody's beneath him.
Right.
And he never broke the mental ideals that his father tried to like get them away from.
Right.
So, but I don't think he ever would have. Like it did.
No, he was, again, he was just literally born evil.
Yeah,
like
he
he is the
was-
seed of hatred.
Yeah, and he does really good at showing you that.
Yeah.
And so then there's his brother, and when you kind of go through their backstory, they're all hanging.
Oh, like from the windows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
They're basically, they're in front of a lynch mob.
Yeah, they're strung out to die.
Yeah. The house is on fire.
And the dad, just begs to have his life saved.
Right.
And I don't remember how the hell they get down, but
That's actually a good question. I don't either.
because that's obviously not how the dad dies.
Well, for sure. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened.
But either way, you kind of just see that the character has always like been crazy. He tells them as he's strung up to the wall,
He's
"I
like,
will
I'll
hunt
murder all of you."
down and kill all of you
Yeah.
for this."
And then he does.
And he does, yeah.
Like the little Satan child that he is.
But Doflamingo has so much stuff going on. Like he has this entire network of underground black market trading
Yep.
directly with the celestial dragons. He has information that like is tethering them to him because if he knows things that
Normal people don't.
they don't want revealed. And so they're
Yeah, no,
like
he's a
in this-
powerhouse of knowledge.
Yeah, so he's like in this very weird relationship with the most powerful people in the sea.
Well, because like if memory serves, like when the dad renounces the celestial dragon title, they're like, okay, cool, like we're never going to acknowledge you as a celestial dragon again.
Correct.
So technically, he is not one, but he's like, but I know all these things, and they're just like, fuck.
Yeah, so he's no longer a celestial dragon, but he was smart enough to put himself in a position where they can't
They can't.
live without him.
Right.
Like they need him.
They need him on their side at least.
Yeah, and then he's also has a lot of different ammunitions contracts with pirates.
Yep.
And
Yeah, he's an arms dealer.
Yeah, and also devil fruit.
Yep.
He's working, with Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, with the Smile
so-
Factory.
Yeah, so that whole thing, manufacturing devil fruit.
Dude, all that too. Like, but like, because again, Dressrosa has a lot. Like,
Yeah.
this is already all this, and then there's the members of the family, like Mr. Pink, who has, as always, a terribly sad backstory. Baby Five, or Baby Fine.
Yep.
Who else is there? It's not Bull.
Buffalo guy?
The Buffalo. Thank
Yeah.
you. Is it Spinner?
Which one's he?
The one that literally just spins, or is that Buffalo?
That's Buffalo.
Who's the other dude?
Besides Treble.
Yeah, like he kind of looks like Buffalo. He slams down, like body slams everyone. I think he can fly. He's like a flying squirrel.
Yeah, that guy's just he's fairly useless. So I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Pika,
Pika.
the gigantic like stone dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot. See, dude, this arc is
There's so
huge.
many people.
This
Yeah,
arc is huge.
That's what I'm saying. Like originally, it was kind of like, Looking back, I'm like, no, it is. It's solid.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So, I feel like let's see where we're at.
Does that actually tell us?
30 minutes.
Do a part 2.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a part 2. Dressrosa part 2, and we'll come back with like more.
In depth.
Well, just come back composed. Because
True.
as I'm like thinking about the arc, I'm like, man, there's so much stuff to talk about. How do you
Yeah.
like really keep it in line? But the fight is awesome.
The fight's fucking cool.
Like once you get to that part where everybody's fighting different factions of the Don Quixote family.
I think it's right before the fight. I don't quite remember, but when Usopp becomes God Usopp, where like they're stringing him up like, oh look upon our God. And I think he's like whispering like, just let me die. And they're like, he said he can't die. He's amazing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing with him. It's hilarious.
But again, one of the things I like about that, like even his jacket has it, but then he got his army of 8,000 soldiers. And you're like,
true.
He's been saying this for a long time.
No, I mean it is true. Like a lot of the stuff that happens to him, it doesn't come true the way you think it would.
No, but it comes true in some capacity.
Come true, and you're like, huh.
What was the reason that excuse me, they put the highest bounty on him? Was it just because he knocked out Sugar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and they're like, oh, he's 5 stars. And he's like, why am I the most?
Yeah. And he's like totally devastated by the encounter too.
Yeah.
He basically gets terrified, and then his terrified face scares the shit out of Sugar.
Right. Oh, yeah, like the giant bug eyes and like the curled tongue.
Yeah, and it like knocks her out.
Hilarious, by the way.
And so then later on,
because then she makes the same face, like the eyes bulge out. Yeah. Like it's amazing.
And you're like, okay, and then she's like laying on the ground, drooling on herself. She's catatonic. I mean, in terror of Usopp.
Dude, I mean, what was it? Like a rocket watermelon that he shot at her, and then it explodes in front of her face to reveal that.
Yes.
Like, dude, the thing had afterburners.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's the first wave.
Yeah.
A couple minutes or seconds later, here's the second one. You're like,
well, then I feel like it did something too to change direction.
Yeah, something like that.
But that whole thing, that's like what shows you, like, okay, maybe Usopp does have
observation hockey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like looking like doesn't his like view become like a literal like target reticle?
Yeah.
He's like, I got to hit right here at this window at this angle.
Yeah, he breaks it all down. And you're like, all right, that's kind of cool. Like I give you.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'll give Usopp credit. Like this arc at least made him feel more useful than he has in the past. Not to say he's useless, but like I feel like this was more of like a hey, here's a time to shine.
It's true. So I think we'll end it here. We'll stop, and then the next part of this is going to be the Gladiator tournament.
Oh, dude, yeah. One of the best characters is introduced.
Yeah. Smile Factory. Yeah, I know, dude. I waited so long for him too. I was like, is he coming back or is he not?
I think we're talking about 2 different characters.
Oh, I know who you are talking about. Yeah. Crybaby boy. He's always crying. Oh my God, I'm in the presence of my God.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Bartolomeo's great.
He's so amazing.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Sabo.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I was like, yes.
Dude, I remember when I was watching it, like I saw the fucking top hat, sent a picture to Derek, and I was like, yo, it's Sabo. And he just goes, why do you think that? And I was like, who the fuck else was a top hat besides Brooke?
Because it is.
Well, yeah.
Like especially when you see it when you're reading it, you just see somebody appear. They don't show you.
Okay.
They just show Luffy go, woo, and his eyes like bug out of his head.
In the anime, like they kind of show, I think, part of the top hat and then the goggles.
Yeah,
and so you're like, well, it's clearly Sabo.
No,
because why would they introduce him to show? Like, I mean, yeah, obviously, like their past when they were kids, but like, who the fuck else wears that?
Right.
Like,
yeah. No, but I knew by the way that Luffy was. I'm like, Sabo's here, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you also knew he was a character because of your game.
Well, but he was a character before. I don't remember in the game if they show.
Well, was it adult or child Sabo?
He's not wearing his hat later on.
Oh, that's weird.
In the game, he's just got his like hair out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But he was powerful in the game, so I figured that he was back in the arc somewhere.
Sure. But yeah, so Gladiator battle next time. The fight, like the actual fight.
Sabo.
Yep.
Koala.
Koala's cool. What's the
Hatch?
Yeah, Hatch is badass.
Name, right?
Yeah.
So
Fishman Jiu-Jitsu.
So the revolutionaries.
Karate. Yep.
Come into the fold. So that's something else to talk about. And then just the fight.
Yeah.
The fight is amazing.
It's fucking cool. Dude.
So
we'll talk about it, but dude, how badass was Law in that fight?
Yeah, Law is G.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we'll do that because I think this is long enough, and then we'll come back and we'll do part 2.
Yep.
And then we'll be on to Zoe. And
yeah, Zoe's short. We might, depending, and we could maybe fit Zoe into Dressrosa or part 2 just because it's shorter.
Yeah.
But
anyhow, peace.
Bye bye.